The key salient issues during my presidential years, actually there's many of them. Perhaps the most significant one is our partnering with the Academy and Anna and moving into a new building, a brand new orthopedic learning center, and the whole new business model to make that self-sufficient. That's a major issue this year. I think that unexpectedly we had a pretty big turnover in the AOSSM staff. When you look at it, we had a number of new hires in education. We unfortunately had the passing of Bart Mann, who's necessitated another hiring. And for those of us like me who sit in this position, we rely so heavily on the staff, and that is it's an unbelievable mountain that we climbed to this point. So that was a significant hurdle, but true to form, you guys made it fantastic. Another issue has been the ACGME and the next accreditation system and how it impacts our fellowship programs, the standalone and university programs. And I think as a society, we need to be very firm and very much devoted to the standalone programs to try to improve their accreditation process and streamline it so that it's not onerous. The standalone programs are the ones that really built the society when you think about it and have produced so many experts. So we want to be true to that group and make sure that all the fellowship programs are thriving despite these significant changes. Lastly, maybe we could talk about performance measures and value-based medical care and how it's affecting the modern-day sports orthopedic surgeon. You know, in not too short a time, we have to prove value just like any other industry, and I think the society's been well-positioned and very active in all the discussions at the Board of Specialty meetings, our own independent board meeting discussions, and how best for each one of our members to be able to comply with these new regulations and not have it impact their practice in a negative way. Undeniably, the greatest aspect of the society, most rewarding, most fulfilling, is the intense volunteerism and commitment by the members. The members genuinely love being a member of the society, and I have been impressed with the overwhelming ability of our members to contribute, to drop everything, answer the call for whether it's providing a lecture, being a moderator, serving on a committee. All of our members take all of these roles very seriously, and I think that sort of camaraderie and motivation to be excellent with the society interactions is probably the most fulfilling and gratifying to see. And also, I'm going to put a plug in again for the AOSSM staff. It's obvious to me as president, the staff loves working for the AOSSM. And those two groups working together make this a phenomenal, really a great society. The AOSSM has had a profound impact on my own career. Again, it has paved the way for me professionally. And what do I mean by that? I mean, from an educational standpoint first, it's provided me with continuing education and the ability to pursue being as good a physician as I can be. It's also provided me with mentors and giants, if you will, that I can pattern my practice after, who've set indelible examples for me in many regards, whether it's patient care, taking care of teams, doing research, educating. It just has provided a sound basis for me to excel in those areas. And perhaps lastly, again, the camaraderie of this society has a magnifying effect on everything I do professionally. And the interaction with such a diverse group, even though we're very like-minded about sort of who we are, our backgrounds, where we want to go. We still have tremendous variance in our professional day-to-day lives, our professional educational aspirations, and I think it just makes for an incredibly robust and fulfilling cornerstone from which to base your career. My most significant mentors in my career unquestionably have been John Fagan, who I did a short fellowship with, but because I spent a career in the Army, you obviously get to know somebody like that for a very, very long time. He taught me really how to treat people, how to examine patients, how to respect orthopedic history, a master at the physical exam. He's just a tremendous person to emulate. Tom Parr, few people know him, but he was an Army orthopedist attending during my training. He taught me how to take care of soldiers and families, which I did for 20 years. So other people who've had a tremendous impact on my career, Bob Winquist, who's a traumatologist, doesn't know very much about sports medicine, but he taught me how to really take care of patients in the operating room before surgery, after surgery, in surgery, and never accept mediocrity. And he had a profound influence on me. Jay Cox is another person who I did my traveling fellowship with. He really taught me the practical side of being an orthopedic surgeon and how to wade through your career and make minimal mistakes. He was a master at that. And then finally, two other people, Russ Warren, who, he's a triple threat of being an educator, a physician, a researcher, and just is the full package. And if you just model your career after him, you'll be hugely successful. And then finally, Freddie Fu. And I love Freddie's energy. He's another triple threat researcher, clinician, educator. And when he was president, he made some decisions that affected me and my family in a personal way that I thought took a ton of leadership on his part. And so those are the people that are my mentors. The advice that I would give young surgeons, and I try to give my residents and fellows if they'll listen to me, is to always take the high road and to be totally dedicated to your profession. It's so easy nowadays to get wrapped up in the business of medicine and all of the healthcare policy changes, but one thing we have control over is being a doctor. That's the way we were trained, being a surgeon, and I would advise them to be the absolute best doc you can be. Spend time with your patients, examine them, do good surgery, dedicate your life to always learning and to improve so that your patient care part of who you are is never anything but the best. And I think if you do that, then you'll be hugely successful.